Aston Villa. And so as a result then, well, United go to 58 points, 6 clear of Wolves, and to within a point of 4th placed Leicester, who incidentally they play on the final day of the season at the King Power Stadium. They're going to take some stopping in their bid for a top 4 finish. Bournemouth's draw means that they swap places with Aston Villa in the bottom 3. They go 18th to within 3 points of Watford and West Ham in safety. Villa 19th, 4 points adrift with 4 games to play. It could go right down to the wire. Slowly but surely, Ryan, you're getting this impression that the old Manchester United is slowly coming back.
Yeah, it's a strut, about the team and getting the likes of Paul Pogba, Fernandes on the ball. And the great teams over the years of United, when them type of players are on the ball, you have options. You have players in running behind, you have the switch, you have players in them little pockets, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing them little triangles and so many options for the player on the ball. And then you execute the option, and teams are finding it very hard to defend against United because of that reason. The options, the quality, the movement, the penetration, and then of course at the end of it, devastating finishing.
He's still making his way back from a lengthy spell on the sidelines, of course. So how did he fare for you today? And is your view that his future increasingly looks to be at Old Trafford?
Well, I think what people have always asked, nobody's ever questioned his talent, but I think they've on about the consistency. I think what he's doing now, he's playing consistent, and nobody's doubting that he's one of the best midfield players in the world. I think when you talk about sort of like this United team, and me and Ryan are obviously supporters, you're actually excited about watching United. We've seen a lot of probably poor games in the restart, but every time United have played, you look forward to watching them because of people like Pogba and Fernandes, and he's got a maturity about his game since he came back from his injury. And you know what, the climate's changed, the financial climate's changed, and there's not many clubs will be able to afford Paul Pogba now. So ultimately, if he's playing in a team where he's happy, he's got great players around him, he looks like he's having fun, why would you want to go and play anywhere else? That's brilliant pass, you know?
Yeah. Are you seeing signs that he's returning to the Paul Pogba that we know in his heyday, not just in the United shirt, but Juve as well? In fact, before you get to that, Ryan, you said earlier, this was one off the training ground, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I think Fernandes has seen that Pogba's free, and Pogba's really just walking away, not even interested. And all of a sudden, he turns, and the ball's there, and then obviously the rest. You see him here.
I don't know. I was going to say, is he double bluffing because he's not even?
He's not even looking. But then it's the quick movement that he sees that he is actually on. So, I'm going to go with a training ground move. But like Phil said, it could be just 2 players on the day. They've spotted it, and Fernandes has found his mate.
What about the actual finish?
Great finish. Great finish. Yeah, you can't save those because he's used the player as that shield and just bent it around the play, and Rain has got no chance.
Do you know what? Since the restart, there's no better team in the country than Manchester United. There's no better team there's no team in the country that's playing a better style of football than Manchester United, scoring as many goals as Manchester United. So over a period of probably the last 4 or 5 games, or even beyond that, for the last probably the run that they're on, United at the moment are probably one of the best teams in the country, even though they're so far behind Liverpool, they've not won the league. At this moment in time, I don't see a better team, which gives United massive confidence.
Yeah. For the future, particularly.
For next season.
Yeah, of course, for next season. And if everybody talks about Bruno Fernandes lifting Paul Pogba's game, what about those around him, the others in that starting 11?
Yeah, every player's playing well and playing every game as well. A settled side. So, all around the pitch, it's about relationships. Whether it's the 2 centre-halves, whether it's the wide man and the full-back, midfield players, you need that chemistry, and you're seeing it now. So when you're on the ball, you know where the player's going to be. You know the run that the player's going to make. So it makes a big difference that it's a settled side, but also there's so much quality in this team at the moment.
Talking of Fernandes, he did, of course, win the penalty, which broke Villa's hearts, and in rather controversial fashion. Was this a penalty for you?
No, it wasn't a penalty. And you know what? I think it's fair to say that VAR's had an horrendous, probably the last 3 or 4 weeks since we've started playing football. It's had an horrendous night. We've seen 3 decisions. You see there is actually probably a foul for the Villa defender rather than for Fernandes. You see his foot there goes over the ball. He's leaning into him. There's a clash. That is not a penalty. Nobody in the world think that's a penalty. So why would VAR give a penalty, and that's what I can't understand.
They didn't see it as a clear and obvious
I
error.
actually think it's having a major effect on football at this moment in time, the way that VAR is being handled.
Yeah, could have a major impact on Aston Villa's future in the Premier League. In fact, talking of which, let's hear now.
Because, you know, he's prepared right for the game. You can see that the way that Villa started in United's face, you know, stopping that flow, not letting them play, and then they get a bad decision against them. So, and then United score on a half-time, which is always a killer. So, yeah, I feel sorry for him because his team started really brightly and with a better team.
Let's get another Villa perspective. We heard from him before the game itself, former Villa midfielder Nigel Reo-Coker, as you can see, joins us now. Nigel, good to see you once again. So how do you sum up those 90 minutes?
It's I'm definitely disappointed for Villa, but I think at times, you know, they just have to take a bit more responsibility. I just personally feel that as well as they were, you know, well set up, they did sit back. They showed Man United a bit too much respect that I would like them to. But at times, even in their defending final third, I just felt that when they could have pressed the ball, they didn't seem to be really pressing with any intensity, or didn't show me that they were a team really fighting for the survival of staying in the Premier League.
And what about the actual the penalty decision that led to United's first goal?
For me personally, I just don't think it was a penalty. I think it's very harsh. And, you know, as Ryan and Phil know themselves, goals change games. That definitely wasn't a penalty. And I think that was probably a punch to the stomach for Villa, because they did start the game well. But even with starting the game well, it's the fact of they just didn't really look like they have a real goal threat. And I felt that Manchester United just seemed like they were nowhere near playing in even second gear. You know, they could have turned it on whenever they wanted to. They were very comfortable. But there's certain things in the game that you look to see about character and players and how really dedicated they are to the cause of, are they really fighting for their lives and fighting for survival? And I felt that was something that I found hard to see in the team display today. You look at the second goal that was conceded, and for me, it's Tyrone Mings should have pressed. He should have made a decision to step forward. And that's all part of the basic foundation that's needed for playing in the Premier League. It's getting in people's faces. It's defending with a purpose. It's, you know, closing down with a purpose in order to try and win the ball. And those are the basic things that I just didn't see in the Villa players today. Just getting in someone's face, you know, just showing that real aggression.
As you can see at the table there, Villa now 4 points adrift of safety with only 4 games left to play.